Mr. Foreman and members of the jury, we have now arrived at that stage of this lawsuit where you are about to listen to my charge upon the law and then retire to your jury room for your deliberations. A lawsuit of this kind has been termed a civilized method of settling disputes between citizens. It is the very basis of our entire system of jurisprudence. It is highly important, therefore, that you as the jury and I as the judge do an honest job and that we carry out the functions of our office to the best of our ability without prejudice and without sympathy. Only in that way can we carry out this system of government of laws under which we live rather than government of men. As I have already told you in my admonition to you, your function in the case is to decide questions of fact. No one can interfere with that. As far as you are concerned, you are supreme in that field. You decide what happened, what is the truth of the situation, and what are the facts. Then you apply to those facts the law that I give you, and just as you are supreme on questions of law, and whether or not you like the law that I give you, you must accept it. This is our system of jurisprudence. You determine the facts, and then you apply to those facts as you find them to exist, the law that I give you, and render a verdict accordingly. In determining the facts, you should not leave behind you every common sense. Here you are called upon to determine the credibility of witnesses who have taken the stand. This happens to you in your ordinary walks of life. You meet people in your ordinary walks of life, and you have to determine from time to time, are they telling the truth? Are they exaggerating? What is the probability of the story that they are telling? Is it true? You measure the probabilities by the manner in which they tell it, the manner in which they talk, the interest, if any, they might have in exaggerating the story or in telling it in a particular light or color. All of these situations you must, in your ordinary walks of life, meet. And it is in just that way that you determine whether or not a witness is telling the truth. There has been some references in both summations here to the failure to call witnesses. The failure to call any given witness does not constitute evidence. It is not proof of any fact, nor is a party under a duty to call any given witness. Where it is apparently within the power of a party to produce a witness whose testimony, it appears, would throw additional light upon that controversy, the accomplished mission of that party to produce such witness authorizes you as the jury, if under all the circumstances of the case you consider such a course justified, to give favorable consideration to the testimony or contention or on behalf of the opposite party which the testimony of such witness, if produced, might have contradicted or explained. Of course, if you find that any witness in the case has willfully testified falsely as to any particular matter, you are at liberty to disregard the entire testimony of that witness. This is on this theory that if a person will testify under oath falsely as to one matter, he or she is likely to testify falsely as to all matters. On the other hand, you do not have to disregard the entire testimony. You can take that part which you believe and throw out the incredible part. You are seeking the truth. You are getting down to a determination of the truth. And these are the basic rules of law in connection with that objective. You might say, well, there are 5 people who testified to one thing and only one to another. However, as I just told you, you are seeking the truth of the situation, and you do not make a decision on a question solely on the number of witnesses who testified one way or the other. It is the quality of their testimony that comes up rather than the quantity of it. It is what you believe. You are seeking at all times the truth of the situation. What are the issues of this case that you have to decide? We have set forth in this complaint 4 separate causes of action. In the first cause of action, the plaintiff, William Hand, seeks damages in the sum of $10,000 for personal injuries, which he says he received in this accident. In the second cause of action, the plaintiff, shall seek the sum of $50,000, not $25,000, as counsel said in his summation, but according to the complaint which has been given to me, $50,000 in personal injuries, which she claims that she has received in this accident. In the third cause of action, her husband, Herbert, shall sue for the sum of $10,000 for medical expenses and loss of services of his wife. In the fourth cause of action, the plaintiff, Stanley Peters, sues for the sum of $5,000, claiming that he was injured in this particular accident. Get that? 180. I know it was 180 because it was timed out at 180.
Yeah, I got it.